Today we're going to talk about the BlastOne abrasive blasting system, or namely a blast room. At BlastOne, we design 100% of our abrasive blasting and paint systems in-house. We design our blast systems for long life. We design them for the highest productivity. We design them for operator ease, both in use and maintenance. Today we're going to talk about a few of the design features of our blast room and how they benefit you. Firstly, let's talk about the structure. One thing we know for sure when we're designing and installing blast rooms is that the concrete floor is never level. We account for that in our design. This panel floats in this 2-inch high U-shaped connector. The panel can float anywhere in this connector onto the steel floor and still have a 100% clear connection. We have an I-beam structure, a heavy-duty I-beam structure. This booth is set up for robots. You notice at the top the I-beams come out and they're connected by a connecting bracket, and then we've got these strong connecting tie rods. This creates an ultra-strong booth for use with robotics. This booth is designed with our heavy-duty rubber roll-up door. They're designed for the blasting environment and they're simple and easy to use. In this demonstration facility, we've fitted it with 3/8 or 10mm steel plate. This protects the concrete from being eroded away, especially when you're blasting down. One thing you'll notice on this blast room is these viewing windows. This is very non-standard. We've done it on our demonstration facility, so it's easy to stand outside and safely watch what's happening inside. These are common, however, on robot booths. We typically have 1, 2 or 3 of these on a robot booth, so the robot operator can be outside the booth running the robot which is inside the booth. Let's talk about the blast man door, or the personnel door. This is a heavy duty system. It's integrated with an exit light that will shine up with a battery powered light when there's a power failure. One thing you'll notice on every personnel door and product door is these interlock switches. So when we open or shut the door, the control system will know whether the door is shut or open. This means that we control the blast system. The blast system will not blast when the door's open. It will only blast when the door's closed. This is for operator safety. This door is set up with a sliding cover over a tempered glass window. This allows additional access and viewing access to see the booth. One additional design feature is this kick panel. This prevents any ricochet abrasive from building up on the base of the door. It's a simple design feature, but any abrasive will pull back straight into the recovery system. This booth is designed with oscillating conveyor technology in the underfloor recovery system. This particular setup is a U-shape. You can see we've got main conveyors going down each side and a cross conveyor at the end. This is a very common setup. We find a U-shape is particularly beneficial because when you're blasting in the an item in the middle of the room, that ricochet typically hits the wall and then pulls into either side. The abrasive then comes into the bucket elevator up to the air wash. This bucket elevator and air wash system is specifically designed by our BlastOne engineers for abrasive blasting. You notice at the bottom there's a large door for easy access to maintain the bucket elevator. The air wash at the top is a unique BlastOne cascading air wash. We can adjust this air wash from ground level. Let's talk about the blast pot. Our standard blast room blast pot is designed as a pressure hold system. That means every time we activate the dead man, the pot's already pressurized, so we can blast immediately. The downside of this is if this pot is pressurized, no abrasive can refill the pot. So in our system, we designed that a switch which goes behind the blast nozzle, that once the blast has finished blasting, you can flick the switch. This will discharge the blast pot and turn off our grit valve, but keep our air valve open, which allows the blaster to blow that grit into the recovery system while this pot depressurizes. That depressurized pot then allows for the grit to flow down from the storage hopper and refill that pot. So once the operator's finished blowing down, you can flick the switch and he's straight back into blast mode again. It's just a simple, time-saving technique. At the front of the booth here, you'll see our intake plenums. These are designed with a special material which stops any abrasive ricocheting up. This eggshell material inside also creates a sound dampening which makes this booth the quietest booth on the market. The other end of our blast room, we have our exhaust plenums. These are custom, specially engineered systems for blasting. The air will come in through this louver, will flow down, change direction and float up through perforated metal. That changing direction and the turbulence created by that perforated metal means that any grit which may find its way into the plenum will fall out of that airstream. Grit in an airstream will go into your dust collector and chew up your cartridges extremely fast. So it's very important to have properly designed plenums, exhaust plenums on your blast room to drop out grit and only take away the dust. Let's talk about the BlastOne dust collector. You'll note that the top of the dust collector is rounded. This prevents pooling of rainwater when it's located outside, which would then cause rusting on the top of the dust collector over time. I want to show you how easy it is to change filters on the BlastOne dust collector. This is a big design consideration for dust collectors. This dust collector, our dust collector, has large, sturdy doors with a heavy-duty gasket to seal off dust and water. To replace the cartridges, one simply needs to grab the handles and slide out the cartridges. The inside of our dust collectors are fitted with these perforated entries. This allows the air, when it comes in, to disperse over the bottoms of all the cartridges and then slowly rise up the cartridge. Another benefit is when we have vertical cartridges instead of horizontal cartridges, so when the pulse valve actuates, the dust falls off the cartridge. Horizontal cartridges, the air falls onto the next cartridge and then the next cartridge. This allows for more efficient cleaning and longer cartridge life. Let's talk about blast room ventilation. This is an air distribution station. We fit it on all our blast rooms. It's an added extra, which no one else typically does. Firstly, the air comes in to a header tank here. We've got our feeders to our blast pot. We've got a Radex filter here, which is our breathing air filter, which then is monitored by a carbon monoxide alarm. A air pressure gauge here, and just some additional outlets for other air tools which you may need to use around the area. Our entry into the blast room is through our through wall connectors. We can put our blast hose, our discharge for the blast pot, and our breathing air hose simply into the blast room. All our BlastOne systems are fitted with smart control systems. These controls have some of the following benefits. They have a large touch screen, which is easy to use. They've got predictive maintenance. We've got simple troubleshooting. We also have massive energy consumption savings, which we can talk to you about later. So that concludes a brief introduction to some of the design features of a BlastOne blast system. There's many more, and if you're intrigued with some of our designs, some of our technologies, let's get in touch. We'll come to you and talk to you about them.